Hey everybody, welcome back to My World is Gorgeous. I am Erica. In case this is your first time, I am in Richmond, Virginia, zone 7A, and I have not did a garden tour in a minute, and so we're gonna hopefully be able to do, before it starts raining, my front yard, which has 90% of all my flowers and things like that, and then I'll see about if we're able to get the backyard in before it starts raining. If not, we'll bring that in on another day. Now, what I have to, sorry, my child coming home. What I have to do is, in reference to this tour today, is let you know that there are some things that's gonna be looking a little shabby. Some things looking like, oh, you need to cut that back, oh, you need to clean that up. But that's because, remember, we did a fall cleanup. I am still in the process of cleaning everything up. I do have the grass cut. I did blow some leaves and stuff like that, but I have oak trees and the leaves are still falling, which means I could blow right now before this video, and by the time I got the camera back up, we got leaves back down on the ground again. So I have gotten up as much of it that I can, and I'm going to flip the camera around and we're going to start in the front, and anything that I cannot think of the name of at that moment, I will definitely pop it up on the screen so you can see, so you'll know what that is in case you want to know. There are some things that are dying back, like my hostas and my hibiscus and things of that nature. They're starting to die back, and I have not clipped them down yet because I try to wait for it to really get into the winter before I cut those back, to make sure as much nutrients and things can go back into the soil as possible. It'll be some other things that will look like they're starting to grow new because it's not as hot and it's getting a little bit cooler, and it's like, oh, let's start pushing out again. Let's start, hey, we won't have that sun beating down on us. So we're gonna go through and I'm going to show you some things. I may even do a voiceover on a few things as well, where I may just stop talking and I may pop some music in and let you guys just kind of see what's going on. But let's get to it, okay? All right. So as we get into this, I'm going to put a disclaimer out there in case it's some music that you keep hearing that pops up on the screen. Is so hard for me to silence it or get rid of it. It's my security system that comes through my camera every single time I move in front of it. I've tried to cut them off when I'm doing my videos, but it always seems as though it's one that I didn't cut off or it Bluetooths itself back in. But let's get started, okay? So now this is one of my front flower beds. Now, of course, I have a whole lot of hydrangeas, okay? They all seem to be inside of their beautiful glow right now, where we're looking at the Little Line Punch right here. She is looking gorgeous. Just look at that. She is looking beautiful, okay? And then we have our dwarf arborvitae tree. We have 2 of those, all right, and I'll probably end up getting some more because they are extremely inexpensive. When I first purchased this one and all the other ones, I got them from about $10.98 at Lowe's, and now it's at this height here. When I first purchased it, it was in I think a pint size. I know it was not a gallon size pot. This one here, I cannot remember the name that this one is, and I have 2 of those as well, and I will pop that up on the screen. We have some beautiful hostas here. This is a azalea that I can never remember the name of. I feel like I don't even have the tag for it anymore. It does not get beyond this size. It stays this small, no matter whether you put in a pot, good soil, bad soil. I've had it for years and it never goes beyond this size. It only It stays at right at a foot, 6 inches to a foot tall, but it blooms beautifully every single year. It has beautiful pink blooms on it. All right. Then right here we have, I think it's called my midnight hibiscus. And if that's not the correct name, I will let you know, because I have another one that's similar, but I think is not the same in the back, and that one is called like a starlet or something to that nature, but I will let you all know what that one is. I have my elephant ears here that I dug up from my side garden, my other driveway, and I've placed them throughout this and a few of my in a few other areas, so you'll see them kind of leaning over and stuff like that, because I did dig them up and plant them, made sure mulch was down on top of them, so they will come back. Okay. And you see here, this is looking beautiful. I split this up last year. This was one plant that I made into, if I'm not mistaken, 5 plants, possibly 6, but I know definitely 5. So, and the crazy part is that they all are looking so different right now. This one I think is looking the best, and then I'll show you the other ones as well. All right, this cypress here, in a video I told you guys it was a tater tot. It actually has a different name. I think the tater tot might be either a little bit bigger, if I'm not mistaken, but it doesn't go beyond its size. They have another one that gets a little bit bigger, well, 2 that get a little bit bigger than this one. I'll pop the name to this cypress up on the screen. Because like I said, I thought it was a tater tot and it was not. All right, then we have some more hostas back through here, and I have so many hostas it makes no sense because I purchased a few different kinds throughout the years, and then I started separating them, and you know, as so many years go by, they come back bigger and bigger, and then you separate them, and of course what happens when you separate them, you know, you just keep having more. And so now I'm like, okay, they are where they are. Next year I probably will not separate them and just let them just get bigger and fill in the area. The other thing that I will probably end up doing, because I don't want to separate them, is once these have gotten bigger, some other ones that I have in pots and things like that, I'll probably use them to fill in spaces where something is not already. So like for instance, I have one here, and it's looking a little crumbly because toward the end of the summer it kind of got burnt up a little bit. But I have this one here and this one here, and then I have that one there. Okay, these 3 should fill in this entire, let me step back, it should fill in this entire area right here. And then that bobo, which is the hydrangea directly behind it, that bobo hydrangea should fill in the higher part of that area. Okay, right behind or to the left of the bobo hydrangea is a juniper. I have 2 of those. The other one is here. That's another hosta at the back there. We have a calla lily right here. All right, why did I stick that there? I don't know. I needed something that would get tall and have height honestly. Then here is another hosta that I have to cut it back, because when I Googled what it was, it's some type of maple that I cannot figure out why it's growing there. I thought it was like some type of poison ivy or something like that, but they're saying that it's a maple, and every time I try to do something different it keeps saying that it's a maple. I have some Japanese maples that I just recently got, but not enough where seed should have come from somewhere. And I think my neighbor across the street might have some type of maple in her yard, and maybe but I'm like, the seed flew past everything else and came all the way back here, so I'm not sure. I'm gonna see if I can dig it up with the root and then put it in a small pot and then let it get a little bit bigger and actually really see what this thing really is. Now here is my Lenten rose. Because it's getting cooler outside, she is looking awesome. And look here, you can see where she's starting to get her buds. You know, Lenten roses during the fall, winter, and spring is when they're doing their best. The summer is not so much of a life for them. And so I'm just expecting next year for this one to be bigger than what it even is. And then as she gets bigger and stuff like that, I will probably separate her and put her through our other parts of the garden, as long as it's something to shade her. She definitely needs to be shaded or up under, something like even being up under here, putting her toward that back part in between the juniper, the calla, this little part here, that little small space there, if it's space left, she could go in between there. Or I could put some pieces up under this azalea right here and in between there where the sun won't really hit her. Okay? But yes, this is an azalea here. And this azalea, and I'm probably going to say this word wrong, Gayeti. I've had her for a while. I try to always keep the tag somewhere near her, because some of my azaleas, I do not recall the names to them, similar to my hostas. It probably would have been nice for me to have some type of tag to put down with each one. I do have most of the tags for them in a box where I keep all of my tags and stuff at that either broke or didn't connect to what it was that I had. Now, if you look, I'm going to let you see all three of these. Okay, so you see that's what that looks like. Let's come on down. That's what that looks like. You see how the colors vary a little bit? And then look at here as to what, they're all the same. They all came from the same thing. All I did was separate them. And so once I separated them, they are coming back beautifully. They're supposed to be able to take full sun, but I had them in an area where they were really getting full sun. And I'm going to tell you, them girls were burning up. So I dug them up, separated them, and the only reason I knew that I could separate them was because when I dug them up, it fell basically apart, with the root. And I mean, I've had this for probably 2 years now, so it should have gotten bigger, but I didn't know. I knew it was a perennial. I just thought it would just stay as it was. I didn't know it would come back fuller and fuller, because some things do stay the exact same size and then some things don't. All right, right here we have another little lime punch. I purchased this off of a company online, and yeah, it's bigger than what it was last year in the spring when last year in the fall when I purchased it. It made it through the winter. I was so glad, because I purchased it at the beginning of fall, put it in the ground, and I have 2 of them. And oh my goodness, it seemed like it did nothing. I remember covering it and trying to really mulch it so it wouldn't die, but that's as big as it has gotten. Yeah. All right, then we have a Grecian rose right here, some more hostas, my hibiscus here, and then I have hostas and gladiolus behind that. And I think, I forgot the type of grass this is. It starts with an L. I never can pronounce it correctly, but I will pop it up on the screen. All right, and then I finally purchased a crepe myrtle. It's not the color that I thought it was going to be. I was going for purple. It is purple, but it's just not the shade of purple that I was really going for. So that's fine. The point of it is because I want it to grow up tall. I want to keep the branches to it cut in such a way to give it a little bit of shape and form as it grows up. And the point of it is to act as a little bit more of shading for this area here, for anything that cannot take heavy sun, which is of course some of my hostas and stuff like that. Okay, now here, this is my birthday gift from my younger brother. This is my limelight hydrangea. I have had her for 2 years. Getting ready to go up on the 3rd year when next year in March come. I remember I was telling him that I really liked hydrangeas, and one of the things that I wanted to get for myself 2 years ago was to really start growing the hydrangeas that I liked. At the time I had 2 and I kept them in pots, and it just got to be, I don't know, really, really rainy, and I probably didn't have enough perlite or something in the soil, and the hydrangea I did have did not make it. But it wasn't one of my favorites anyway. So she is definitely one of my favorites. And like I said, it's my birthday gift from my younger brother. Here is another hosta. This hosta right here is original to the house. My dad planted it years ago, and from I don't know, when I moved in, I've been here for 5 years, and when I moved in and took over this property, he had not lived here in three to 4 years, if I'm not mistaken. And the funny thing is that used to live right here in this little area right here. Okay, I have divided this thing so many times in the 5 years that I have had this particular one. He planted it, it grew big, it lived in clay soil. The area that I have over here, I have amended it very well, so things are growing good in this area that, you know, can't really or won't really survive as well in clay soil. But I have it here. It's another piece of it. Oh, the bigger ones that's at the very back, that I was saying was with the gladiolus, those came from that. And then another one that I'm going to show you in a little bit in the other flower garden came from that as well. And like I said, this particular one here, I have never bought another one like it, because this thing gets so big every single year. Next year when this comes up, I could literally dig this one up, that one, and the one over there, and separate it. I have pieces in the back that came from this where I've separated it from other things that I've separated. The little hosta hedge that's at the back here, that's 3 separate pieces that came from this here, you know. And it's just hilarious to me, actually. But anyway, we have some more elephant ears here, another canna. I have to put the type, I have to look at the ticket and put the type it is, because I dug it up from another spot, separated it, put part of it here and part of it in another spot. And I'm not sure if next year in the spring, if I'm going to dig up where I put the other piece to it at, and pop it somewhere else. I want to put it somewhere where it can really, really get some sun. Oh, the other thing that I wanted to share with you guys is this cypress here. I have 2 of them. Next year in the spring, I will be digging those up and popping them in the other flower bed. Why purchase more when we can use what we already have? Okay. All right. Then we have here, they're starting to get ready to die back, even though some of them are still blooming. I'm going to have to separate these next year. Also, I'm going to Google the best time to separate these, whether it's now or in the spring. There are new pieces that's starting to grow up, see here, from it. And so I'm definitely going to have to dig them up, separate them, and then put them back. I may even put some in pots, put them in other areas. But yeah, because I really want to keep them going. If you don't separate them and stuff, they'll start not blooming, you know. So these are my irises, and they're all different colors. Here we have a Rosa Sharon, and I will put what kind of Rosa Sharon it is. She blooms a pretty pink color. I'll get close up on, I'm gonna make the camera close up, because if I get close up, it's always bees around it. So I'm trying to be very careful. There she is, looking all nice and beautiful. And so I will put the type it is, because I have a few different Rose of Sharons. I have a pencil Rose of Sharon that's in the back, whereas this one is more bushier, okay? And then I have the Rose of Sharons that I got from my Facebook gardening club page, which I don't know what kind of Rose of Sharon that is. And next year when she blooms, I will probably do my photo thing with the plant locator that's on my phone to see if I can figure out what type of Rose of Sharons those are. If we come down here, we see lavender. The funny thing is, I used to have this lavender in a different spot. Soon as I dug it up and put it here, oh my goodness, the lavender, the salvia, the butterfly bush, they all just really started growing. And I believe the reason is because this area here, I have been amending the soil to this area. Let me pull it out. Sorry, you guys. I have been amending the soil to this area for such a long time. Do you hear me? Probably I got this dug up the first year that I moved in. That first year, first and second year, I didn't plant anything here. When they dug it up, they grinded up the stump within there, you know, and so all sorts of organic matter and stuff is in there. And then I started adding compost to it, and potting soil, and just really mixing it all up in there. And it's been able to, you know, have all of those things be mixed up in there for the last at least 4 years. Let's say that. Like I said, that first year was when I got it cut down, and it wasn't as soon as I moved in. So yeah, so this soil here is awesome. Anything I put in there flourishes, okay? I also have some Shasta daisies that I grew from seed right here, and I am so excited about those coming up next year, okay? And like I said, this is my salvia, and it's a dwarf butterfly bush, and I'll have to pop up on the screen the kind that it actually is, because I really need to look into that to see if I can separate it or do something. If not, I may just have to purchase more. And right now at Lowe's, they actually have more on the clearance rack for $15. They're regularly $30, but I am doing my best to stay true to myself and not buy anything. I am not trying to buy anything. Y'all hear me? All right, we're gonna go to our next garden. Okay, so here in this pot, and I have one more that's in a pot, is my Camellia japonica. I did a video the other day where I planted the white one inside of the ground in one of my other gardens, and this one for right now will stay in the pot. Part of me feels like I want to dig this little whole huge spot right here, or this area right here, and I'm sorry, this area right here, and then I want to put it in there. I really have to see. I have to see what it is I really want to do. But I am thinking so heavily on it. These get extremely big, and I mean anywhere from 5 to 6 feet wide. It gets about 8 to, I think, 10 feet tall, if I remember correctly. I have to look back. Look, I gotta look back at my own video. I'm talking about it now, but they get really large, and I would still clip it back to keep it kind of tamed in a decent shape. I don't want it just to, you know, take over everything where you can't really experience what the garden really is, you know. But I do want it to act where it can shade a little bit, but then also you know, maybe it gets a little large and you put a bench or something, table or something cute, you know, in front of it. This entire front yard going into my side driveways, both of them, I want it to eventually look like, and it's just a beautiful flower garden with the backdrop of a white and yellow house. And I still have to thank, I think I said it in another video, I can't remember, you know, the men at my church, they CGM, Chosen, RVA, they, oh my goodness, they came out and they painted the house for me, and you know, it was so funny because one of the younger guys was like, well, do you want me to paint the porch too? And I was like, well, I know we really didn't say you were going to do that. And he was like, well, I know how women are. They want stuff particular, you know. He's like, I don't mind. So I said that would be awesome if you could. You know, I would love it to be white. And so I wanted a white and yellow house. The only thing that I really need to do right now is build another porch on the roof for the porch is what I'm trying to say. And then I want to get the door painted a blue, so it can kind of, and blue is not my favorite color, but I kind of like the blue color to go in the yard. I think it just really looks really nice. I mean, I could do a purple, but everything that I have been getting was blue. So I'm gonna build the top part for that, have like a column on each side that comes down. I think that would just be so beautiful. And it's a little bit of the white paint left, and I just want to take that and go all the way out the walkway, and I just think it'll just be really nice. Anyway, let's get back to the flowers. This hosta here almost died on me, but I know she gonna come back next year. I planted her in a spot and tried to make my own little, almost like a miniature raised bed for it, but where it was sitting at, which I don't understand how. Well, okay, I'm gonna say it probably started dying because I was not watering it as often. I planted it near my mailbox, and I was not going over there watering it, so she's starting to die. Well, she started to die, but now she's doing a whole lot better. This here is also one of the Rose of Sharon's, and it is doing good because if you look, you can see some greenery coming on her, which is great. So I did really good getting those in the ground when I did, and I'm believing that next year when the spring is over, this thing is going to be gorgeous. Okay, gorgeous. I keep calling this a freesia, and it's not. I have to pop it up on the screen what it is. This, as well as the fern, and I want to say one other thing that I can't think of right now. I got from Costco. They had like a little pack where, and you can get, I think it was 5 of these, so many hostas, and so many ferns. All of the ferns died, and then I purchased this one to replace it. And they were actually supposed to be hardy ferns, but they were bare root. Everything was bare root, and everything just did not make it, you know. So it is what it is. This is sage here. This big greenery here is a lily of the valley. Okay. And, you know, as a kid, I was so intrigued when you know, when you growing up and you hear songs about God, and oh, he's the sweetest rose of Sharon, he's the lily of the valley. And I always said when I got older, I wanted to find a rose of Sharon and a lily of the valley, and guess what? I did. And I have a lot of rose of Sharons. I only, out of all the lily of the valley bulbs that were in there, this is the one that survived, which is fine. And so I am so happy to now own lily of the valleys, rose of Sharon's, and yeah, I'm happy. So that's why I have rose of Sharon's. Now it's so funny because I did not know that rose of Sharon's was a type of hibiscus. Had no idea, but of course, yes, now we do. And if you notice, this is the other one, and then I have, I think, one more in the back of these. This is sage here, garden sage, another hosta, another little lime punch. I have a pencil holly here, and I think I feel like how many of those do I have? I think I have 5 of them total, if I'm not mistaken, that I've had for a while. This is the fern here, which was the Korean rock fern, is what this is here. And so I'm excited about this coming up and back next year. I can never remember what these things are. The sun just burnt them to crisp. Not up here, but in the back. But I potted them here so they could come back more beautiful next year. And I will probably end up, as the years go on, breaking pieces off and putting them all throughout this little area here. And as you see, another hosta, another dwarf arborvitae, elephant ear there, cypress, hosta, another pencil holly here. So I might have 6 of them. So I knew it was 2 in the front, and I feel like it's 1, 2, 3. I feel like it's 4 in the back, if I'm not mistaken. At that time, I was getting pencil hollies for like $10, and I was excited about it. So yeah, this one just barely made it. It had ended up dealing with some type of mite or something. I sprayed them, and this is how much it lasted. I had 2 other ones, and they didn't make it at all. They were bigger, and I just had to throw those out. I say this word wrong all the time. I think it's a Forsythia. Yeah, we're not either. It starts with an F. It blooms yellow, and I am definitely going to pop it up on the screen, okay? Some more hostas. This hosta here ended up getting paint on it when the guys were painting, and so I just dug it up, put it over here, and I'm going to clip it back. And you know, of course, next year it's going to come back looking oh so vibrant. More elephant ears, hostas. This is the hosta also that I pulled off of the one that I said was originally here. That was my dad's. I have another hosta down on that side, which is, let me see if we can get close up on it. Looking beautiful. She has not been looking burned the entire time that everything else was burning during the summer, and now all of a sudden she's starting to get a little bit of some burned spots on it. But next year that should come back extremely big. Some of the hostas that you see that I have closer, these 2 here are supposed to get extremely large, about 2 to 3 feet in height, I think is what it said. I have to look back at the tag, and I'll give it to you accurately. Hostas. This here is a strawberry sundae hydrangea. She's already, and I definitely have to clip her back next year. Definitely. I have some pieces that need to be cut, like here, you know, that's no longer green. But yeah, clip all of that back so it can really grow into the bush that she wants to be. Let me move this elephant ear. It's another hosta that's here. Look, new greenery growing out. All right, I have an azalea there. Yep, this a Emerus something. I have 2 of those, and I cannot think of the name of it. I have so many things. Let me just be honest with you all. I cannot remember the name of half of the things that I have. So the things that I do name, be grateful. I have 1, 2, 3. I think I have 5 azaleas, and I literally only remember the name to this one, but I can't pronounce it because it's like a burnt orange yellow color. Yeah, I can't pronounce it. This one here turns a very, and you've seen it in some of my videos that are in my shorts. It's like a beautiful purpley white pinkish type of gorgeous color. I'm going to see if I can find it and pop it up on the screen, the color of this one and this one here. Okay, and then this one here, if I'm not mistaken, it blooms white. Yes, it blooms white. That is a salvia as well. Right now they are on sale at Lowe's, or on clearance at my Lowe's. That's one of my Lowe's. Let's say that, for $3. Regularly they were about $8 with tax or whatever, and they're on sale for like $3 right now. All right, we're gonna go to the other flower garden. I'm gonna do this one, and then I'll do the other one behind me after. Yes, let's see, I talked about this the other day as well, and I Yeah, my mind is drawing a blank right now. So I'm going to pop this gorgeous beauty on the screen as well. Just look at that. I'm excited because this is supposed to really, really fill out and get bigger. So it'll look like a little bush in this whole little spot here, which I'm excited about. This is a boxwood here, a miniature boxwood. It's not going to really get any taller than that. Rosemary back there. And I also had a rosemary in the other garden bed as well, where the limelight prime is at. But I have a lot of rosemary. I plant a lot of rosemary. Another calla lily. This is a diamond Creighton myrtle. I have 2 of them. I bought them the same time I bought the dwarf arborvitae and arborvitae. I bought them from Lowe's about 4 years ago. Because I bought these 2 because they were on clearance for $8. Because when I tell you these things looked half dead, this is immaculate compared to what it was looking like prior to. I mean, it was like one stem, and yeah, this has multiple of stems on it. New ones are coming. Excuse the dog. But like all of these are new. This is new. And I'm wondering if I'm even able to propagate these or something. I really want to see. I'm sorry, I knocked over one of my solar lights. I have this is the other Rosa Sharon here. Look at the greenery. I have to pull all these leaves off, but look at this. I'm just so excited. I remember one person did make a comment in the video that I was talking about when I had planted the Rosa Sharons, and I said, please put in the comments if you know anything about Rosa Sharons, because I really wanted to cut it back, but I wasn't sure, you know, because the leaves were looking so dead from me digging it up during the time that I really wasn't supposed to. But I could clearly say that I think all of them have some type of greenery on them somewhere, which is great. The other one is over there. It has if I see 2 or 3 little sprigs of greenery, I'm excited and happy. Okay, and I see the squirrel running with an acorn in his mouth, and please do not plant it. It's doing it. I did not want him to plant that thing in my flower bed, and he did it anyway. See, this is why little miniature trees keep growing up. And look, and then he patted it down oh so nicely as to say, haha, you're not gonna get it. Yeah, I saw where you planted it, and I have to dig up some bulbs over there anyway, so I am definitely digging that acorn up. It shall not. I rebuke other little miniature oak trees growing. Anyway, some more rosemary. This was a oh goodness, my mind went blank as to what that is. Yeah, anyway, we can clearly see it's not anymore. The sun kind of really cooked it. They don't like being dug up. I dug it up and I moved it. It was a peony. So we're gonna see if it comes back next year. If it doesn't, I can only be mad at myself, and I may purchase next year 2 or 3 peonies to put with something. But yeah, it is what it is. I dug it up at the wrong time. Okay. I have some more. These are all daylilies here of all different colors. It's about 3 or 4 different colors of daylilies. I have a rose, little miniature rose bush there, a azalea there. Okay. And even though I've dug up a lot of stuff, I'm gonna come around to the side part of here, and it is nothing there right now. We talked about in another video what I was gonna put there, but this is the Camellia japonica, the white one that I planted. You know, I have a hibiscus there that I started from seed, that I just have it should die off this year and then come back next year. Okay, These are dianthus here. I'm not sure whether I'm going to keep them there or dig them up in the spring next year. This was a white azalea that when a branch fell, it broke it, and this is what was left of it. So hopefully, I don't know what'll happen with it, to be honest. Okay, the flower bed across from it, there's no need to even show it because there's nothing in there right now but twigs of where I've cut down the tiger lilies and stuff like that. And you know, there's no need to even show that till I start working on it again. There's nothing there, to be honest. All right, this here, I don't see any greenery on it yet, but it is definitely not dead. I can tell you that for sure, because if you take a piece of this here and then scrape it, you can clearly see that green is still in there. So I have to put a stick in here so I can be able to sit it up. And then once it sits up, I may even clip it back a little bit next year in the spring. Well, I know I'm going to clip it back in the spring. And then that way it can start growing upright and not stay on this bend leaning. This here is another one of my hydrangeas, and I feel like I may end up having to move it, to be honest. She is not... She was doing really, really good. And I don't know. She looks the worst of all of them. I am not sure what is going on with her right now. This is... I mean, she literally just started looking this bad. Literally. It's like this right here is the better looking leaves on it right in here. I'm not sure if it's coming from the sun, which if it was coming from the sun, it should have burnt over the summer, and it didn't. So I'm not sure. This here is a ground cover that I grew in the pot that every year looks awesome. But I think this year I'm making a decision that I'm going to take it out of the pot and I'm going to get rid of it. I was going to keep it as something hanging and when I make my window boxes, but I don't think I'm going to do that. I've gotten to the place where, you know, she was nice where I had her. It's supposed to have little purple blooms on her. They come here and there, but yeah, when I bought it, it was about this big inside of a little small, it was like about 2 inches tall inside of an extremely small nursery pot from Lowe's for like $1. And it wasn't on clearance. That's just the regular price of them. I think they were like $2 or $1.98 or something like that. Oh my goodness. These cats are treacherous. You hear me? And it's only one cat that comes in my flower bed and poops. It's this little black cat. And whenever I get in my beds, this one to be more exact, I always see a mound and I'll see a few flies, and I know that that black cat has been in here. And how I know it's the black one, because I've seen it on numerous occasions poop in my flower beds, and it's the only one that does it. The other ones, we've had conversations and they leave my stuff alone. Right now, this bed here has a ton of hibiscus in it and Shasta daisies. It also has this beautiful pink purplish grass that's in here, as well as a I want to say gladiolus, and that's not what it is. Gardenia, that's right here. A couple of dianthus, as well as one of the Rose of Sharons I put in here as well. A couple of hostas. I have a primrose that I grew from seed that sits right there beside the bench. I also have some coneflower echinaceas that's through here over there, and I'm going to put some more in from seed over the winter, and hopefully they'll grow up as well. And I'm going to stick those throughout here as well. This whole area here, I want it to be filled with hibiscus, Shasta daisies, coneflowers, you know, and stuff like that. It's what I basically want all through here. And they'll give highs and lows throughout the whole part, you know, because the hibiscus will grow to being right at about 4 feet tall, you know, and then you have your Shasta daisies and your echinacea that'll come, you know, up and down within the height from that. And so that's what I want to do there. This is a cypress as well. It's a lemon something cypress. Hold on. I'm sorry, I had to pause, you guys. I had to sneeze. But yeah, this is a lemon something cypress. I have 2 of them. The other one is in the ground in a flower bed. I would love to have more of them. And what I want to do is I want to put it in a another area on the other side of this. But of course, I do not need to get it now because I just need other. Look at the leaves falling. You see them? This is why I said it is no need for me to even blow the yard again before I did this video. Literally, the wind blew a smidge. You know, you can see the grass blowing this way to the left, and then all of these leaves fell again. Yeah. It's fall, y'all. This is a begonia that I need to take out of here before it gets too cold, and hopefully I can overwinter it. This is a zinca that they actually did really well. The funny thing with this zinca is that, let me see, it's 5 plants of zincas in there. I probably did buy 5 of them. I don't remember buying 5, but I must have if 5 are in there. But this really filled out. I had to move it to this area here, and once I moved it here, it actually started doing beautifully. So we've been out here for almost an hour. That's everything that's going on in the front yard right now, our front flower garden. And we're going to go to the back, and we're going to talk about the flowers that we have back there. And yeah, I think what I'm probably going to end up doing is doing the vegetables on a whole nother video, only because I didn't do a really huge vegetable garden for the fall. I really only use 2 beds and 2 raised beds and one of my boxes, and then I have 2 of my green stalks that I have stuff in. The other green stalk, I do not have anything in it. I've even taken all of the soil out of it, placed it in something else for and amended the soil for next year. So let's pause for just a moment, and we will go to the backyard. All right, as we start to come up upon the backyard, this is the flower bed that we revamped earlier this year. I have 2 different type of canna lilies in here, some gladiolas in here. We have some sage, garden sage in here, some xanthus in here. I planted some elephant ear bulbs, the purple ones. I don't know if they are or aren't going to come up because right now they haven't done anything. But this is the other one, the other canna here. I don't know if I'm gonna clip it back and keep it there or place it somewhere else. We have the coleus that I grew from seed this year in some pots here. Some more hostas back here, elephant ear. This is I think a Christmas cactus. I've had it for a long time, and I need to put it in my greenhouse because it's starting to bud, and I know that I definitely cannot keep this thing outside. I revamped the fencing that I built here. The storm we had some weeks back actually blew one of my fence over, which was really odd because that had never happened before. So I revamped it, set it up a different way, and put flower boxes behind them. They definitely will not be blowing over now. So this one has, of course, you can see marigolds in it and lemon balm. And then why did I do that? I have no idea. I have 2 cabbages that is sitting in there. Yeah, it's not gonna stay. This is some type of, I think I put a lily in here. Let me pull this up so we can see what we got here. Oh yes, this is a fresco calla lily. Yes, that's what this one is here, and I'm praying that it lives. I've had 3 or 4 of those. That's the only one that I have left. Some more of the coleus that I grew that's sitting there. This is a wisteria here that's in the pot. I would love to be able to keep it. Woo, sorry you guys, I almost fell. Had to catch myself. That's a wisteria, and I'm really hoping that I'm trying to figure out how I want to build, what I want to build for it to grow up and over it is where my thought process is. Part of me wants it to grow up and over that way, and what I may end up doing is it may grow up and over to the left and the right. I have to see, to be honest. I just have to see. Okay, so let's go to the other flower bed. All right. So we have some more irises here. Yes. We have a twist and shout, endless summer twist and shout hydrangea there that we moved from the front to the back. All right. We have a little limelight. We have 2 of these back here. Here's one. Look, here's the last of this that's in the pot. Here. Look, and I have it in a green pot. Another one of the pencil hollies here. Okay. That is some type of lily there. Oh, look at this. Another one of the Rose of Sharon's here. Look at all of this greenery on here. You guys don't know how excited I am about this. I'm coming to get the tag to this hibiscus here. This one is a Rose Mallow Starry Night. That's what this one is. Remember, I was trying to remember the name of the other one, and this is what it looks like when it's in bloom. And the other one that's in the front, I feel like I'm gonna end up, sorry you guys, I feel like I'm gonna end up having to get the tag to it because it should not be the exact same one, if I'm not mistaken. It's something that looks similar but it's different. Another hibiscus, hydrangea. These 2 are in the pots here. Okay, I'm gonna come back to the left here. This is one of my now this one I actually got from Lidl for $29. It's a Japanese maple, and it some kind of a way had got powdery mildew, and so I'm hoping it recovers. This piece here has grown from it. The other parts is not dead or anything like that, but yeah, I don't know whether leaves fall off of it and it'll grow back with none on it or what. I have to Google it. My other little limelight hydrangea. Look, and then I was wrong. I have another one of these in a pot. That thing really, I broke into a whole lot of pieces. Another pencil holly. This one is in a big pot, so it is actually, if you can see, it has gotten really, really big. And then this is a rhododendron. Here it blooms in beautiful purple. I had 2 of them. One of them I had in the absolute wrong spot, and it burned to a crisp. Okay. And then I have this gorgeous beauty here who I almost lost her. This is my standard little limelight, and I had her planted I had her in the back in a pot first and did wonderfully. Why did I decide to mess with her and move her to the front? She liked where she was at. And when I moved her to the front, took her out the pot, put her in the ground, she looked like she was doing fine for a while. And the more that she stayed there, the worse she got. But I didn't want to dig her up because I just put her in. Well, once it started to cool off outside, I dug her up. I put her in a bigger pot than what she was in when I planted her in the ground. And as soon as I did that, she was like, "Thank you, Mommy." And she actually started growing greenery on her again. This is another Rose of Sharon that came from that bunch too. A friend of mine at church asked me to save her one. So this is in a pot. and it is for her. That one is absolutely for her. It has a lot of greenery on it. I'm hoping when the spring comes and I cut her back, she will be okay. And I don't know whether she can actually keep it at her house now. I need to call her and find out. But yeah, this is doing good. All right. Last but not least, the last two Rose Sharons. This one has greenery on it. The one over there, I don't think it does just yet. Yeah, it's not dead, but it does not have any, well, yeah, it doesn't have any greenery on it just yet. No buds. I keep saying greenery. No buds just yet. You can see where the buds are supposed to be, so they will come. I already know they will. But over here we have some more canna lilies, hosta in a pot, hosta down there that I cannot figure out how the sun burned it, being that it was hot hidden. We have my other pencil Rose of Sharon. This one I've had for 2 years now. It looks like a horsefly is on it. I don't even know where that came from. Dianthus here. Some more hostas here. You know, I never know what the name of these things here are. I'll pop it up on the screen. She was looking a whole lot better till the other night when it really got cold. This was a hosta that has died out. Some columbine, which was what was in the other pot that looked like nothing was in it a second ago, was some columbine. 2 other pencil hollies. I told you I had a good number of them. And then in the front, this is what's in the front yard that I was telling you that I got from Costco. So I will pop that up on the screen. This is a Bobo here as well. This one is a whole lot bigger than the one that's in my front yard. Then I have 3 hostas, but it's 2 different kinds. And I need to clip those back because they have. And then the very, very last part of this video, these are the hostas that came from that other plant as well. And then I put 2 hibiscus in between them. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4 that I broke off from that plant. And then I have these 2 hibiscus that I grew from seed in there. And look, this one acting like it wants to bloom. Look at that, acting like it wants to bloom. If it gives me a bloom before the winter come, just so I would be so satisfied. You just don't know, because this is something that I grew from seed. Anytime I'm growing stuff from seed, I get excited. You know, so the coleus, I bought the seeds. The hibiscus, I actually picked those from, they were seed pods that came from hibiscus that I already had. You see what I'm saying? Anyway, it has been my pleasure giving you guys this garden tour right now. And yeah, I'm going to turn you guys back around so you can see me. So I appreciate you guys coming in, hanging out with me today, looking at all the flowers that we have as we go into the fall. I'm excited to give you what everything is going to look like in the spring. We may do a winter garden tour just to see what everything looks like out here once stuff have gone dormant. Put stuff away, I don't know, depending on how I feel. I'm definitely going to come at you next week, hopefully with a fall garden, vegetable garden tour, so you can see what it is that I have in there, how it's grown since the last time that I've shown you, and then I'll let you see what's actually going on in the greenhouse. We have a lot going on in the greenhouse. We have plants that are in there to protect it from the cold. We have seeds growing. We got things that's been propagated. I mean, I'm telling you, and I may end up letting you guys see what's in the greenhouse this weekend. You just never know, okay? So have a great time. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. And thanks for tuning in again to My World is Gorgeous. Have a great day now. Happy gardening.